only the end of July, middle of winter. It's just so warm. It's like 10:30. It's already 18 degrees and it's going to be about 24, 25 maybe today. Just hardly any rain. Hardly any rain, Nina. As you can see, we're digging up the lawn because the lawn is just rubbish. It's just so non-wetting. I mean, look at that sand. It's just the water. You put water on it and it just run off. So we're going to dig it all out and then have a think about what to do. Whether we change it up or make it half lawn or whatever. But we just got to address that non-wetting because it's just rubbish. So Andrew's sort of doing a bit of that at the weekends when he's actually home rather than at work. Oh, the Geraldton wax has come out, look. It's pretty good now. A couple of years ago these plants kind of struggled a little bit, but they look good now. So pretty. And these are some sort of melaleuca. I can't remember what they were, but I think I just put them in to fill the gaps where the Geraldton wax didn't want to take. And then there's a white one, some bees, and another pink one, and then the verticalia down the end. Bottle brush are doing well. The little ones coming up. The lemons, we've had a little bit of rain, not a lot, but they have put on a bit of weight, but they're just a bit soft and small. There's a lot of new ones coming up. So, because that's what lemons do, I'm not even going to think about knocking any of them off, but as you can see, there's flipping hundreds of them. It's just, yeah, funny year for the fruit trees. Well, anyway, there's enough lemons for what I need them for, so. That was the mulberry that died, so we've knocked that out. Just trying to work out what to put there. There's a minor bird making a load of noise. So I've put a load more trees in, to capture that winter rain that hasn't happened. So I have actually been watering them a little bit, just to help them get their roots down. Acacia. This is my Capulan cherry. This is what I got that seed off that bloke down at Nannup a couple of years ago, so that's grown up well. Might have to trim back this melaleuca a little bit maybe. It's a trampoline. The oak tree's lost all its leaves obviously for winter. I might just give that a bit of a trim. Like more melaleucas. That's the mulberry, which I think's an English mulberry. I've decided maybe that was an English mulberry and the other one was a Chinese mulberry, but I'm not entirely sure. And this is the sunflower bed. So I just filled it with sunflowers, so they're all just starting to come out now. So, and they've actually put multi-heads on because I've put so many in the pot. These are everlastings coming out. I just thought I'd make something. There's dill and coriander and some other random things. There's the pond with the solar pumps and the watercress. It's obviously it's a bit cold for it now, but and I've got little snails, and God knows where the little snails came from. I'm assuming the watercress. There's the shade blue. Obviously, don't just sit under it because it's not that cold. So sit there and have me lunch. These are the blood oranges, still not really put on a lot of weight. They're not soft though, but they're just so small, and the leaves look rubbish. And I don't know what the irrigation manager's been doing, but it just needs a good rain. But as you can see, it put on all these fruits, which I am going to knock off because they really aren't going to do anything. and you don't want them putting energy into making these fruits really. Silly orange. It was just so, because it was so hot in the summer and it all got confused and just, yeah, oh well. Olive tree, still looks good. Oak tree, this is the best oak tree. All looks happy. This one doesn't seem to lose its leaves quite as much, maybe because it's bigger, not sure why. That's the grapefruit that's never done anything, really we should put some else in. The limes, the endless limes, still a few on there, more coming, just such a good tree. And this is the little patch of natives that I've planted over the years. This is a bird hakea, just flowers out of the stems. I don't understand how that works, but that's Australian plants for you. So I've planted a few more. This is another hakea, Hakea sculparia. I don't know why it's flowering. I should knock the flowers off, I suppose. And then there's a few more bird hakeas here, and they're all just starting to flower now. It takes a couple of years. And then this guy is the Hakea franciana, which is the pokers. Obviously you can see they're very pretty. The birds really like them. And then we come over to the veggies. That's the jacaranda. And that's like, I think it's like 9 years old now. I think I planted it in 2011, so you can see it's gone crazy. Nice geranium. Just put that yellow kangaroo paw in. It's got some self-sown tomatoes. So this is the pandemic bed that I planted or created on 30th of March, 1st of April. So it's really come a long way. So this is the mounds, the 4 mounds. And then I've just planted them up to such multi-species. So this first bed has got garlic, and it's got leeks and onions, and obviously you can see these sunflowers, and then all those tomatoes. I did not plant them, they've just come up, appeared, and I've just let them grow. I've got some Swedes and kohlrabi, and there's lettuces, and bok choy, and some silver beet, radishes. So yeah, it's just craziness. And then second row I've got some broccoli. Gonna pick more sunflowers. Got the big artichokes, that was self-sown years ago, and I've just built it into the bed. And then more sunflowers, lettuces, kale, rocket that's going to seed, and a few things. And obviously all these nasturtiums that are all self-sown, but they're good pest control. And then we've got the potato beds. I put a few peas in as well to help them. So just the potatoes are massive, just crazy. I was picking potatoes within 6 weeks of planting them because they were just so happy. So as you can see, the plants are dying off now, so it's optimum time to pick the potatoes, but I'm just gonna hold off just digging them all up. Just keep them in the ground. I don't think they're going to get spoilt because it's not going to rain that much. Another artichoke. This is the native wisteria, but it's a cultivar, so that's why it's a real rambler. But obviously it's very pretty. I've had to really hack it back, and it didn't mind it too much because I just wanted to get a few extra shrubs in there, but it's done its job because I wanted it to stop those hot westerly winds and create a barrier, and that's exactly what it's done, along with the horrible passion fruit at the end. It's just, yeah, done well. And then I got a load of peas in these raised beds, and And then this is the avo. One day it might flower. And then I've got peas I planted the other day. I moved some strawberries onto these mounds. I think they'll like mounds. And some beetroot, and then some kale, and some obviously purple cauliflower. I don't remember planting that, but that's obviously what I planted. Another collie, and yeah, some massive kale. And then this is a red currant. Never had a red currant before, so I planted that as a bare rooted plant, and it's just starting to come now. And I've got a few other berries. I've got a black currant up there that may do or it may not. But then I've got a josta berry, which is supposed to be a mild climate black currant equivalent. Might do better. And then obviously this is the pomegranate, so I've had a bit of a trim of it because we've opened all this area up, moved the fence out, so I could put a few more things in. So this is another mulberry. This is bare rooted mulberry, just giving it a water. English mulberry. So there's I'll just try and do a few more hedging plants to stop the wind. I've got a load of pumpkins here, so that's why I haven't really done any more here. Just waiting for these pumpkins to finish, then I can remove the dead acacia. It's done its job. I've got a load of carrots and garlic, silver bee, and obviously all the borage for the bees, peas, and some more self-sown tomatoes. And this was the Marbella spinach. You can see little native cockroaches there. Look, native ones. Oh, must be really happy. But look at the seeds. It's just there's a trillion billion seeds on there, and that's not half of them because I've ripped a load off as well, which is yeah. So that was obviously a good investment. I moved some celery into there, so that's just starting to take off. More borage that just self-sows. There's some tomatoes up there, and then this is another fruit tree planted for fruit and also for shade for the veggie patch when it gets up. So this is a three-way plum. So instead of I'm trying to get plums, because obviously we've got plum trees, never had plums. So this is a three-way plum, so it should obviously pollinate each other. So yeah, Flavor Supreme, Santa Rosa, and a Mariposa, three-way plum. So, and again, that was bare rooted, so hopefully it will take. So yeah, just moved the fence out just to create a bigger area. The cat's having a crap in the garden. More nasturtiums, and yeah, a lot of stuff just grows up by itself. This is a good tomato. I didn't plant that, but it must be some sort of Roma or something. It's done some good tomatoes. Got endless parsley. Like, oh, I could set up a parsley shop. It's ridiculous. Just everywhere. Beetroots are good. The peas are coming. So yeah. So I think this pandemic bed's done really well, hasn't it? It's only been there was nothing here like the 27th of March, and we just ripped it up, did the mounds, enriched the mounds with compost and worm extract, and planted them up, and they just went bonkers. So must have done something right. It's the Hoya I've moved. It's the elephant ears. That's the euphorbia, cactusy like thing. These are these dragon fruits that I got from that guy in the garden we went to, and that there is a lily pilly, which I'm excited about. And then I've just noticed I've got quite a few tomatoes to pick. That was just a rambling tomato. Pretty daisy flowers. Those jonquil things have all come up, so they smell. Calendula. I've cut roses back, never done that before, so I think I've done alright because they are springing back, but I think I probably could have cut them a bit more. This is a citronella geranium thing that I just continuously cut back. Marjoram. Self-sown tomatoes. They're just massive. That's that new rose that Andrew bought this year. This is a lavender that's just massive but never flowered. I don't understand what it's going to do, but I'll just let it go. Yeah, lots to eat. And obviously there's no waste because we don't eat it all and I don't give it away. The chickens have it. And obviously that's why we've got the fences everywhere, else the chickens would be having it. See all the trees. And then we've got the wicking beds. Got a few seedlings to plant, but I'm waiting for some rain. These are these African violets, aren't they? I think. That's really gone crazy. These are peppers. I think I've picked probably the last peppers the other day. There's a couple of little ones, but most of the peppers are finished. There's a dog. More self-sown tomatoes, which are yielding a few little tomatoes. I don't know where this pepper come from, and I don't understand because I didn't plant that either. I don't think I've ever planted one like that, so maybe it's a mutation. So I put lots of cabbages and other brassicas because they did really well last year, so I thought I'd bung some more in. Carrots. There's a pepper down there. I'm sure there's another pepper somewhere. Oh, look, there's a cross spider. So yeah, the collies have done well, so I will probably pick that one later. It's a dill. It's me pineapple. One day I'll get a pineapple. Lots of peas coming, so I need to come and pick these later. A white borage. Some beets. And hopefully, I keep saying this, we might actually do lawn here this year because we're messing up that other lawn. I think I've put my foot down and we're going to have lawn because it's not difficult to put more kaiku in. Right, this is another Hardenbergia. Obviously this is another cultivar, this isn't a native, but it's absolutely covered. Very pretty. And it's the ginger. And then this is that self-sown like nectarine that's done really well, so kind of trimmed it a little bit, but oh, they were the best nectarine. Self-sown, didn't plant that at all. And so I put in a peacherine, which is a peach and nectarine cultivar, so we'll see what happens with that. And I also planted a gooseberry. So self-sown, like this is a cold spot. I'm hoping it might like it. We'll see. Philandra, dragon fruit, tomatoes under there. Keep them going. Got flipping nasturtiums everywhere. Loads of chilies. Just I don't even plant them anymore. They just come up. There's a couple of things left, but yeah, so they're just all. I don't even think I planted these. I mean, look at them. They're just ridiculous. Just coming out of those raised beds. Ridiculous. But pretty. That's the pool. It's a bit cold. And then up this end we got given a couple of pulled out roses. They were pulled out, like looked gnarly as. And so I thought, where should I put them? I'm going to put them in that hot spot because this absolutely gets hammered with the heat. I bunged them in, watered them well, and they've really come up trumps. So I don't really know what type of roses they are. They're sort of a tall, I don't know, yellow rose. They smell a bit, like not majorly, but yeah, so I don't know whether I should trim back those suckers. But yeah, so along with the rosemary, and I've had to move this because the cactus broke off. So I plonked it in there because, yeah, like I said, this gets the heat. With the honeysuckle and the bougainvillea and the cactus and the runaway grass. The grass is the bane of our existence here. Just having grass, keeping grass alive, is such hard work. Especially when you haven't got endless water. Here's some more natives. This is the Hakea trifurcata. Just starting to come out, so it's real pungent, and obviously the bees love it. This is the grevillea toothbrush, and then this is the silver princess, which this is like 2 years old now, and Andrew nearly killed it because he turned the irrigation off last year in summer, and I thought, oh, I'm going to be so annoyed, but a bit of love, it's come back. What do you want? This is the chookies. Chookies. Oh, come in. Come on. Quick. Doing quite well, laying eggs. Goddamn annoying cockerels. And then this is the chook veggie pen area. So this is a nice little, what I'd like to call room, and this is what I'm trying to recreate everywhere else as a room, so it's contained, keeping off that hot wind and sun. I can put the shade cloth across. So this is where I've put a few things. This is probably the second rotation of things along here. So I picked the main broccoli now, so it's obviously just the shoots, and then I've had a few collies, but it's a bit warm and dry. It's not as good as the wicking beds, but it's alright. Got quite a few beetroots, plunked a load of peas in, more beetroots. These peas have done really well along here. They just want something to scramble up. And then there's a few, you see that? That was a grasshopper. There's a few grasshoppers this year. Still got courgettes, zucchinis, because I think it's a bit of a sun trap. And, we are midwinter. This is ridiculous because that is a summer thing. So I think I've just created a good microclimate. This tomato's carried on from last year. It looks really good now. And then this was all sweet corn and beans, and so the beans have all finished, but I've just kept all the canes and the things that they climbed up, and I've just put peas in, so the peas are now climbing up the same climbing apparatus. And then this one here I've just completely planted to sort of leafy stuff, so there's loads of dill, 28 rocket, this, I think that was kaolin or something, I don't know, something weird. Loads of radishes. I don't know if there's any here because I probably ate them all the other day. Oh, and then some like little Swedes, which look like turnips, but they call them Swedes, so whether they're Swedes. That's the Precious. Hello, the Precious. Hello. Yeah, so that's done really well, so I can just come in here and have a pick through what's doing well, pull things out. A little bit of silver beet in there. And then obviously that's the white mulberry, so I think that's going to do really well this year. It's just losing its leaves because it's winter. Yeah, so that's the other elderflower, which weirdly has 3 flower heads on it, and it's the middle of winter. It makes no sense. This passion fruit went crazy, so I just kept on cutting it back. It made a good sort of canopy, but again, just no passion fruit. Loads of flowers, loads of bees, but not a major issue because I'm not that bothered with having 1,000,000 passion fruit. So yeah, that's about it. Come Murphs. Murphy, quick, before the chicken comes out. Hurry up. You. And just trying to work out other things to do. When you've got so much space, it's just so much maintenance. It's like, ugh, what else should we do? Obviously this is a nice little grevillea, planted years ago, and then there's lots of new things coming up. This Eremophila does really well. It's a kind of ground spread thing, so I've put in a lot more of those here just to cover the ground around the grave sites, just to cover up the sand, because this just bakes in the summer and it all had mulch on, but of course the chickens just pull it all off. So whether I fence it off again, I don't know. See, because this never worked very well, and I fenced it off and stopped the chickens going in and chucked lots of other stuff in, and it has taken off a lot better than what it ever was. Yeah, that's about it. Look at our lovely lawn. Look at our lovely lawn, Neela. It's so lovely. Just a big pile of sand that it's rubbish. On a slope facing north, which is the sun, middle of summer, absolutely getting hammered because it's on that slope. Water doesn't infiltrate. Just, yeah, it's never going to work. So Murphy's got his little spot down there underneath the hibiscus, so he's happy. Okay, there you go, there's the sun and the blue skies. Now I better go do some work. Ta-ta!